everybody, this is important. I want to know, what was your first crystal you ever owned, and what's your favorite crystal you've ever owned? I'll ask again at the end. Leave in the comments down below and just let me know anything you want to tell me about your crystals, how you came to start collecting them, and what drew you to them. Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel, Adventures with Amirah. I've had so many people ask me about my crystals over the years, and I just have never done a video on them. I have been collecting rocks since I was a little bitty girl. I always loved being in the trees, and I loved being outside in nature, and I still am like that whenever I'm feeling stressed, especially with everything that's going on in the world. One thing I can always count on is just being amongst nature and feeling like I'm grounded and feeling like things are better. And maybe that's why holding different stones, different types of rocks, crystals particularly, just made me feel more at ease. I use these in my house throughout all the rooms actually, now that I think about it, but these are some of the ones that I had upstairs. I'm just going to do a small collection for you guys today to show you the ones that I keep here with me in our bedroom. When I was little, I didn't really understand the metaphysical properties of crystals. I just knew that I liked them because they were pretty, and I've always been like that. I just like certain things. I don't really care if it's, you know, free from nature or something that's pretty in a store or whatever. It doesn't matter to me, like if I feel like I'm called to something. And this particular crystal, it just spoke to me. I had been searching for a rose quartz that was polished like this, and I really did want a point. And I saw this online and I just fell in love with it. And I had looked at tons of them online. I don't even remember where I found this. It might have been on Etsy. And for some reason, this specific crystal just called my name. And it has rainbows in it. It's hard to see them in this artificial light. I'll try to show you some of these in natural light as well. But this is a rose quartz, and it's a pretty large one. These are more difficult to find, but I love it. I keep it in the bedroom. This is a symbol of love, and it looks kind of like an obelisk, which a lot of people use throughout history in different parts of the world for different types of energy. But we just love this, and I've had this for a few years now, and this is probably one of my favorite crystals that I own. This piece of amethyst. Now this piece of amethyst I've had probably 20 years. This thing has traveled all over with us. I mean, I was a military wife, so we moved quite a bit, and I've had this since before my husband and I got married. I love purple. My whole family loves purple. It's very interesting actually, because all the family on my mom's side loves purple, and then a lot of the family on my dad's side loves purple too. And so purple was always one of my favorite colors my whole life. And that's why I think I was attracted to this stone first. A lot of people say their first crystal they ever owned was an amethyst, and that's true for me as well, ironically. I mean, I have hundreds of crystals at this point, but this one is one that I've kept with me. It's just a beautiful piece. I don't remember where I picked it up. It wasn't too expensive. I know they had a store when I was in high school in Connecticut that sold crystals and things, so I may have gotten it there. But yeah, I've had it with me. I normally cleanse it every now and again. I cleanse it with water, and then I'll charge it like in the sunlight or moonlight. And you also want to just say kind of a prayer around your crystals every now and then to kind of clear any bad energies or anything, because you bring a lot of negativity home from outside, and there's nothing wrong with a little bit of blessings to try to clear your space. I do burn sage sometimes around my crystals to kind of clear the energy off of them also. And then we also have selenite wands and selenite towers, and I'll show that to you in another video, but we use those to cleanse crystals as well. But yeah, I just keep it with me, and even smoke from a candle can help cleanse it off. There's a reason that you always see in different churches and different religious events where they're having like incense burning and the smoke from the priest and stuff. Trust me when I tell you that. So you definitely want to keep your crystals cleansed and charged. another crystal I've had for many, many years. My mom and sisters gave this to me one Christmas. My goodness, it must have been 20 years ago at least. And I didn't even know what it was. I'd never been to the world of science. And I opened it and it was this beautiful piece of fluorite, which nowadays is pretty difficult to find. I don't see pink fluorite very often, and if you do, it's pretty expensive. But I've kept it all these years. I had another World of Science box for a different stone, but I don't know where it is. I have not seen it in quite some time. I'm thinking that we lost the box in one of the moves, and it's probably just one of the crystals in my crystal collection now. It almost has a more purple tint to it, but it's very different than amethyst, if you can see that. But pink fluorite is pretty rare. And this one says it is from Mina Navidad, Durango, Mexico. And then it's just a certificate of authenticity that comes with it. So I guess any of the World of Science stones were like that. These are considered more like exhibit or museum style pieces. I'm definitely a girl that loves fluorite. This is a piece of purple fluorite, and I think this is absolutely gorgeous. It has rainbows in it as well, and that's basically when the light hits it and you can catch these little rainbow sparkles inside any of the crystals. I like pyramids because I feel like these are good energy generators, and these are really good for helping you focus. I have ADD, and when I was younger I had ADHD, but these are really good to help have around to keep your mind more focused, as long as you have the intention. You know, you just ask for a little help sometimes, and sometimes they're more like a cornerstone for what your intention is, and so that's why I keep things like this around. Guys who've been watching me for a few years know that I love hearts. I have hearts all over my house, and I love to collect crystals that are in the shape of these gorgeous hearts. This is a piece of rainbow fluorite. These are beautiful. I have some rainbow fluorite wands downstairs. I'll share with you guys in my next crystal video, and I'll show you how I display a lot of my crystals. But this piece is just gorgeous, and it just feels so, I don't know how to describe the energy you feel off some of these crystals, but you'll be at a show or a gem and mineral show or something, and sometimes things will just call to you. You're like, I need you in my life. I don't know why, but you're calling to me, and this is one of those little pieces. My son actually bought this for me the last gem and mineral show we went to here in Florida. That was probably right before Christmas, and he knew that I liked it, and so he went back and he used his allowance to go get this and surprise me with it, and I love it. It is so pretty. Some of the jewelry that I have on, I'll share with you guys too where I purchased that. This is a piece of clear quartz, and clear quartz is an amplifier. It helps with clarity. There's just a lot of things that this specifically can be used for, but if you have it with other crystals, it tends to amplify their energy. And it definitely makes you feel a little bit more protected when you have crystals on, because there is so much negativity out there in the world. And so I tend to try to send crystals with my kids whenever they have something going on. They'll have crystals in their pockets. My husband now keeps crystals in his car. I definitely feel a difference when I have them on. This crystal bracelet here, and I'll take this off. This actually, sorry, I forgot to tell you, I found this at Ross. And this was probably right before Christmas. I actually did a haul on my channel for the crystals that I found at Ross that day. This necklace was so inexpensive. I think it was only maybe $11. And then this ring I also got at Ross. This is an opal, and it's kind of like a protective eye. It was $7.99, and I got this. This is rose quartz as well. It's beautiful because it has this point on it. And then it has a little charm that says love, but I love this piece. It's very simplistic. I also got another piece similar to this that's made out of green jasper. And it's a beautiful piece as well, a lot more earthy looking. I tend to gravitate toward pinks and purples just in my life in general, so that's one of the things that drew me to this specific bracelet. This bracelet here that I have on my arm, this is amethyst, lapis lazuli, and citrine. And I've had this bracelet for probably 25 years. I saw this at like a Native American festival or something like that, because we used to have a Native American festival at the zoo where I used to work. And I really love this like purple cabochon, and it has something engraved on here. I can't really tell what it is, but there's some kind of symbol or something engraved. And I didn't really ever care for yellow. I recently began to appreciate the beauty of citrine. But lapis lazuli, this deep blue, has always attracted me. This is a common stone that the ancient Egyptians used, and a lot of royalty used blue stones for protection. It's really good for your throat chakra. If you have problems with your thyroid, any type of blue stone like aquamarine, lapis lazuli, turquoise, there's a lot that are really good for the throat. But I've loved this bracelet, and it's so old and it's never broken. It's stuck with me all this time. Then I have these bracelets. I have this one, and sometimes you'll see me wear another one that's purple. There's an amethyst one, and this one just has 7 beads on here to represent your chakras. It also has this little elephant, and I collect elephants. My mom collected elephants as well. Not too many, just here and there. I have a few elephants around, and that is also a symbol of protection. But I've always just found elephants comforting since I was a little girl. I have no idea why. I wasn't raised with my mom, and I didn't even realize she loved elephants until we reconnected when I was much older, and who knew? But she loves elephants. One of my sisters collects elephants as well, so I tend to have little elephants around the house and whatnot, just for symbols of good luck. And then I have this stone here that I picked up many years ago. And I used to believe this was lapis lazuli, but now I know lapis lazuli has different little flecks of gold in it. I believe it might be pyrite. I really don't see that anymore. So now I'm wondering if this was possibly blue apatite, which is a totally different type of stone. I have another one of those downstairs, but this variation here in it, the veining, makes me think that this was possibly blue apatite. And I picked this up many years ago as well. So I wasn't really into crystals that much until the last 3 years. Like, I've always had crystals. I just think they're pretty, and I've had a few around the house here and there. But I'd say like in the last 3 years, I really have been into crystals and using them for their properties to help reduce anxiety, for healing. And I think it's something I was always called to from the time I was a child. But growing up in a Methodist church, you know, being into stones and stuff, people aren't really gonna be promoting that type of mindset. You know, they might have this mindset of, oh, that's something from the devil or whatever. I believe that all stones, all plants, all animals, everything is from something greater than ourselves, that source. Some people call it God, some people call it a lot of different things, but I know in my heart the powers of certain things. But I was always kind of taught not to believe in stuff like that. And now at this point in my life, I'm like, oh, this was what I was always called to understand about different stones and how they can help us. Same thing with, like, now I use essential oils for a lot of medicinal purposes that I never would have even thought about before. It's just interesting that how information gets given to you when you're ready to accept that information. And so for my crystals in the last 3 years, I really have gotten so much more information. I've learned so much more about it, and just I've opened myself up to the knowledge that was just waiting for me. If you guys are interested in crystals, let me know in the comments down below. If you have your own crystal collection, let me know what your favorite crystal is and what was your first crystal. I'm so interested to hear that. All right, thanks so much, you guys. I have more crystal videos coming soon. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.